I've been in UX for more than 7 years, and during that time I've done more than 100 UX portfolio reviews. And I've found 4 essential tips that you need to follow if you want to create a UX portfolio that stands out and that helps you get hired in UX. Let's get started with the first one. The first one is an easy one, and that's to get a custom domain for your portfolio website. And here's why. Look at this URL, randomportfoliobuilder.com/free/yourportfolio1final. This doesn't really look professional. What I would recommend instead is a custom domain. This looks much more professional, yourportfolio.com. That will be of course your own custom domain, but this looks so much better. So don't use Dribbble, don't use Behance, don't use a free portfolio builder, but use your own custom domain. And that doesn't mean that you can't use Dribbble or Behance. I think you should, but don't let it be your main URL for your portfolio. Use a custom domain that looks much better and looks way more professional. Up next is adding a clear call to action to your website instead of a vague one like hire me, reach out, I'm open to work, or something similar. This is too generic and that doesn't really call to action to anyone. What I would recommend you to do instead is to add a very clear, very specific call to action to the footer of every page on your website, like this one. In this case, you really mention that you're open for work and you reference the case study on your page, for example, and you mentioned you're looking for a product design role, a remote role, for example, and that you want to be a part of a team instead of the only designer at a company. This is very specific. Mention what you're looking for. Let your readers know. That's the only way for people to reach out to you. Another important tip that I've given in most of the UX portfolio reviews that I've done is to create a personalized about you section. This is where you mention something about you, your backstory, and who you are. And this comes in handy when you're applying for a job. So let's say that you've applied for a UX job, and in addition to you, there are over 100 other applicants. And what's important here for you is to stand out and to increase your chances of getting invited for a job interview. And mentioning only your education and experience, that's no way for you to stand out. Most people will have a similar educational background or similar experience to you. So that still leaves most of your competition. So what to do instead? In your UX portfolio, mention your unique skills, and there's always something unique about you. For example, if you have a background in fashion design, or if you are a teacher or a developer of something else, that brings unique insights to the table. Mention these insights on your UX portfolio website. It's a great way for you to stand out and will increase your chances of getting invited to a UX interview enormously. The final and maybe most important tip that I share in almost any UX portfolio review that I do is about UX case study structure. This is the structure that I see in most case studies when I do a UX portfolio review. And even while being quite extensive, it misses some key parts. And what I would like you to do instead is to write a much shorter case study with only a summary, the challenge, what you've done to solve that challenge, and the result and impact that you've had on users and the business. I have another video that goes more into detail about how to do this, and I will link it in this video. But I will give you a short summary here. So, first of all, the summary, and then the challenge, what you did to solve that challenge, and your result and impact on users and the business. I'd like to emphasize the business here. You are being hired by a business, so you really have to show that business that you can do something that helps them. So instead of only focusing on the user, focus on both the user and the business in your case studies. That's a great way for you to stand out. And that's it. After doing more than 100 UX portfolio reviews, these are the 4 tips that I share in almost any of those reviews. Create a custom domain, create a clear call to action to let people know when and how to reach out to you, personalize the about you to stand out, and create a clear case study structure that focuses on both the user and the business. By the way, if you have UX portfolio that could use a review, I'm still offering UX portfolio reviews, and this is an example of one that I've done before. And you'll get a FigJam file that includes a clear list of to-dos, actionable tips and examples to help you create a UX portfolio that makes you stand out in the job hunt. I'll add a link for how to get started to the description of this video. Alright, that's it for this video on UX portfolio reviews. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.